right, shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat, and this is the Hebrew Health Series, is where we're going to be talking about your health and just staying healthy in a in a uh, toxic environment. You know what I'm saying? Uh, w- Today, what we're going to be talking mostly about is just um, the kidneys, ba- and any detox. That's basically step one of um, of cleansing. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be your kidneys. Hold on, let me. Um, like I said, I'm gonna be breaking this down pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Um, so we're not wasting time, so that we're efficient and effective with this. Uh, you know, I meant to do this because with this video here is gonna coincide with we just put out a kidney adrenal tincture. So we'll talk about the ingredients in that a little bit. And like I said, this stuff is not it's not complicated. You know what I'm saying? And getting skilled with these herbs takes a little bit of diligence to get the whole understanding of how it works, but it's something, especially here in Straight With It, we're gonna have to learn moving forward, because what you find out when you get into this is like, man, all the answers are right there. The Most High has provided them right here out of the ground. We don't have to go to wicked people that are not trustworthy to, to heal and to fight disease. And I'm gonna just break it down how simple it is. Uh, and I meant to do this video a couple days ago when my shy sister Koi, she put out the new kidney and adrenal tincture that we have, and I was gonna put this out to coincide with it. I was too busy, man. But today I got, there's a brother here in Straightway. Um, he follows, and he's done some of my herbal protocols and everything like that. A matter of fact, this brother here was actually on heart medicine for a heart condition he had. And what I did is talk to him about Hawthorne berry. He did his due diligence. Um, he made him a Hawthorne berry tincture, and he is either off his heart medicine now or is in the process of totally getting off. And that medicine was expensive. Okay. I think he was saying he would have heart palpitations and stuff like that, and all this other stuff. And if you don't know, Hawthorne berry, anything with the heart, man, anything, heart murmur, you name it, whatever it is, Hawthorne berry is the way to go. And what he did with his research, he actually found out Hawthorne leaf is actually more potent than the berry. So he's been you know he's been doing that for the past couple of months, I think now, and getting good results off Yah's medicine, actually bringing him back to health instead of slowly killing him while they steal money from him. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyway, that brother, he sent me. I talked to him today, and he told me some sad news. There's a person up in New York. He gave me. He gave that person my number because his mother was stuck in the hospital, I guess with COVID or something like that. I don't think it was COVID, but stuck in there for some reason. He wanted to get her out because he doesn't trust the hospital. So he gave me this person's number, and I was talking to him, letting him know what I do, telling him about, the herbs and stuff like that. And, and he was going to order, the antiviral tincture we make. He was going to order it, but we noticed we never got an order from him. And then we didn't hear from him. And come to find out, he had got like a little some itchiness in his throat, a tickling in his throat. And then that eventually it turned into, the virus that's going all around. And I guess one of his close family members is a doctor, so they made him go to the hospital or whatever. And he went to the hospital and they put him on, the ventilator thing. And it was weird because then he got on that and then he was getting better and he was wanting to get up out the hospital. And then a day or two later, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? And, my stance with this whole medical establishment and everything, they got things that they are good at. Like they're good surgically removing stuff, or if you like what I'm talking about, like say I go out there and I cut my arm open and like break some whatever, like dude, they are the best at that, at repairing stuff and stuff like that. But when it comes to treating like these chronic diseases and all that other stuff, which is all pretty much the same thing, man, they are some daggone butchers. They're some straight murderers, man. They put a thing out a couple years ago. I don't know how many years ago. Out there in LA, the doctors went on strike and the death rate dropped. So that ought to tell you something. As you know, my father 2 years ago passed away from COVID. Now, once again, he had colon issues, colon cancer. So they had treated him for that. And he was a type 2 diabetic. And like I said, I'm setting this whole show up here so that, y'all can see what I'm talking about, how straightforward all this stuff is, and how there's a lot of people passing away, and it didn't have to be that way. And I was just getting into all this herbal stuff 2 years ago, man, and then but yeah, man, this stuff's avoidable, and that's what you're going to find out on this series. So moving forward, anytime you see Hebrew Health Series, you're going to get some good information and get more educated on how you can become healthy. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about is, the kidneys. And what I'm going to start it with is just how there's different ways, there's different modalities and methods that people use herbs in. You can use them in I guess you call it an allopathic type way, where you can treat symptoms that are going on. For instance, let's take heart issues. Like our brother here, he had heart issues. Okay. Well, I told him, hey, get some Hawthorne berry. So we treated the symptom, but why are there heart issues? What's causing that? At the end of the day, it's going to be tied into the lymphatic system. Then you could go back from that and tie it into diet. Okay. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. Hey y'all. Let me say this too. I meant to say this earlier. If this thing hangs up, just hang in there. And what I will do is just wait. And as soon as I see it's not glitching anymore, I will continue moving forward. I'm a make some changes on the internet here. I'm gonna probably get a AP access point, so I have my own wireless signal coming in here, and that'll fix those glitches. Okay, so um, any issue you have, uh, almost 100% time, any issue you have, you're going to be able to tie it to a under functioning lymphatic system. So that's your body's sewage system. We'll get into this. I know I went in, for those of you who follow me closely, I know I did a video maybe a week ago and I went into a lot of this, but I'm going to do it again for the sake of this series so that when this is made into a playlist, people could have all this information right there. But any issue with your body is you're going to be able to trace it back to a backed up lymphatic system, backed up, kind of a dry, backed up interstitial spaces. So interstitial basically means the space between your cells, every cell in your body, no matter where it's at, just that space in between. It gets dried up and backed up and gooped up and polluted and toxified. And then when you get some type of virus or anything like that, the cells and your what they call your immune system can't get there as quick. So the analogy would be, it'd be like there was a fire in New York City during rush hour. Well, the fire engines aren't going to be able to get there as quick as they would be able to get there if it was a fire at midnight in New York City. Well, even midnight, the traffic be backed up in New York City. Let's see a fire at 3 o'clock in the morning in New York City. The fire engines would be able to go right down those roads and get right to where they needed to get. Well, if you ever see New York City, or we could say see LA during rush hour, is gridlock, it's backed up. So a lot of people's bodies are this way, and they're that way because of the diet that they eat. They eat a diet that's not full of water rich food like fruits. Okay, so in order to what people do when it with these and I know I'm jumping around, but just hang with me. We're gonna tie it all in. What a lot of people do when they get into herbs and herbalism is, like, for instance, oh, I feel something coming down, you know, let me take, like, I feel a tickling in my throat. Let me take this herb. It might be ginger. Let me take some ginger to burn it up out of there. Other people will name other herbs that they take when they feel something to kill the virus or whatever's in there, you know? And that's not how you want to operate. What you want to do is you want to, before anything comes around, you want to be taking herbs to strengthen the system or the cells or the group of cells that fight virus in your body. Okay, so that's how the antiviral tincture is formulated. That's how I put that together. That's why it has cleavers, mullein, elecampane, and Paul Diarco. Some of the stuff in there, yeah, it does. Like Paul Diarco inhibits viral replication. Okay. But the other herbs in there are gonna strengthen the systems or the cells and stuff like that, or the pathways and all that stuff that's gonna enable your body to fight it more aggressively. Because at the end of the day, your body has to fight it off. Now, I'm gonna show you that what I'm talking about is on the right track, because everybody knows this. Because at the end of the day, anything you see, anything out there that's going to help you overcome a disease, or that they claim is going to help you overcome, like a virus or something like that, anything that they put out there that's going to fight something off is going to tie into your what they call your immune system, but the group of cells, the different groups of cells that are going to fight off foreign invaders. So let's take their vaxes that they make, scenes, okay, that they make. Or I'll say it like this for now on: vax, and then I'll pause like this, scene, and then you could combine those words, you know what I'm saying, that they make for, the co, and then I'm going to say a pause in the middle so that nobody knows what I'm saying, vid, that's out there, all right? So what they make for that, the way those are structured, they put stuff in there that's going to cause your immune system to say, oh my God, there's a foreign invader here. That's what these things do. So that's why they'll put aluminum in there. That's why they'll put like horse blood or just weird, crazy. That's why they'll put mercury in there, because that's why they'll put an attenuated virus in there. Attenuated just means a dead, weakened part of the virus in there. Because what they're trying to do is put that in there and cause your system to react to it. There's something in here. And then that way, what it's doing is, I'm trying to think of an analogy to give you. So the analogy would be, you set a fake fire during rush hour to get the fire engines there quicker. Okay. Well, the reason the fire engines aren't getting there, not because the fire department doesn't know how to react. The reason why the fire engines aren't getting there is because there's a daggone roadblock. There's a traffic jams. You know what I'm saying? So, and the analogy of what they're trying to do with these vax, and again, I got to pause, so I'll say some stuff in between scenes, and y'all combine the word. But the reason why, like an analogy of what they're trying to do, is it'd be the equivalent of, in order to protect your house, in order for your home to stay safe and protected, it'd be the equivalent of somebody sending a burglar to your house. He's a small guy and he doesn't have a gun, he has a knife. And we're going to send him in there, and by you fighting him off, you're going to get better at defending your house and protecting your house against burglars. Okay? All right, hold on one sec. What is this? Here, girls want everyone even. Okay, let me block them. Okay. So I don't know who that was. So anyway, so that would be the equivalent of what they're trying to do. We're going to send a small burglar there. He's only going to have a knife. He's not going to have a gun. We're going to send him into your house. And by you fighting him off, he will, you'll get better at protecting your house against burglars. And, you know, he might kill one person, but y'all should be able to overpower him. That's the equivalent of these things that they're, you know, hitting people with. You know what I'm saying? That's the analogy. Whereas what you could have did is just look at your house, be like, oh, okay, I need to keep that window closed. Oh, I need to put a camera here. I need to put a motion detector here. I need to get me either a shotgun or a 300 blackout, and, you know, to defend my home, or this type of weapon, and boom. That's the difference. You already know, you're in your house, you already know how to defend your house. Same thing inside your body. Them cells know how to fight anything off. Okay? If you give them the right nutrients to build them up in abundance and keep the highways clear, you won't even get tickling in the throat. It'll get fought off so quick. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I'm telling you, I did a couple weeks ago, or whatever. I had tickling in the throat. I felt something moving around or whatever, like not moving around, but you know, the way you kind of feel when something's trying to come on you. But I continue taking my herbs, and it happened to some other people, brothers and sisters here in the house. So, like I said, it's a testament to it. Now, the way these things, and like I said, we're going to get to the kidneys, we're going to tie this all in. But the way these things work, these viruses is, and the one that's going around all over the place, or all over the world right now in particular, is respiratory based, of course. So, once again, the antiviral tincture, naturally, that the Mullen and Ella campaign, and like I said, you can make this stuff yourself. You don't want to make a tincture, make it as a tea. It ain't complicated. All right. Look, and I'm saying that so y'all don't think, hey, I'm trying to promote, you know, householdherbs.com. I am, but I'm also trying to educate y'all. You know what I'm saying? But look, the Mullen and the Ella campaign stimulate your respiratory system's immune system, or cellular system that fights off foreign invaders. I think that's a better way of saying it to give y'all understanding. The cellular system in your respiratory system that fights off foreign invaders. Okay? So that's what it stimulates. It causes your respiratory system to go into a mode that fights and with what's the word? Forget that word. It begins with EX, but it fights and gets any foreign invaders out of the body by sneezing, by producing mucus, by you'll be spitting up mucus, you'll be blowing out mucus, and that mucus is encapsulating whatever the foreign invader is and getting it out of your system. And not just that, stuff like COPD, anything related, sinus issues, you name it, anything related to your respiratory system. Because sinus issues, all that is like your sinuses, and where they back up, they're cavities in your bones up in there. They're sinus cavities that capture stuff that don't need to be there. When you take Mullen Ella campaign, stuff like that, it gets that stuff loose and moving and gets it out of your body. And that's how, like I said, one of the brothers here had sinus issues. I said, man, you need to hit this for a couple of days. It was just straight Mullen, and actually it was the antiviral tincture. And he hit that for a couple of days. Sinus issues went away. I'm talking about sinus issues that bothered him for years. Okay? Don't let people make this complicated. Mullen, when we were out there at Straightway, telling Pastor about mullein. He's like, yeah, we got mullein. He's like, it grows right down that street there. And like one of the roads there on Straightway, man, is just, it looked like a herbal apothecary, a live herb, because they got all types of plants growing down there. And for some reason, like their location in Tennessee, man, that stuff grow good. Milk thistle, mullein, you know, and that's another show. We're going to get into how to identify these plants, what you need to do to educate yourself so you could identify this stuff. So that if there's a food shortage, you could run in the forest and just survive off what y'all's growing out there, you know? So yeah. And I appreciate y'all. Yeah, y'all put comments in there. I'm gonna go through and read them later on, but we're gonna keep going through this. So that's the first level of defense is your respiratory system. That is how this thing's gonna get in you, either through your mouth or through your nose. You know, and you ever watch some people, man? We touch our faces so much, you know. But so yeah. But what happens is if you're compromised, if your invader defense system is down, hold on, what's up? You coming? Hey, bring me a bottle of that. The yeah, and the antiviral also. So anyway, that's the Sequoia there. Y'all say shalom to it. But anyway, so what happens with a lot of people is depending on, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but so I'm kind of going on a theory from what I've experienced. If your system ain't all the way up, and like your respiratory or your immune system isn't real solid, especially in your respiratory system or whatever, that thing, whatever it is, that virus or whatever it is going to get in there. It's going to get in your lungs or whatever, and it's going to get through the cellular wall in your respiratory system or whatever, and it's going to get into, you know, your blood system or whatever, and then it's going to infect your body, and your body, then you're going to get that what you call fevers and all that stuff, is just your body trying to get it out of its system. But what it's going to do is going to get past it, and then it's going to get into your system, and it's going to cause you know, a lot of symptoms. You see people getting tired, all that stuff like that, because what, your body's trying to fight it off now on another level, and that's why I put cleavers and Poldiarco in there, because then that fights it off if it makes it past your respiratory system and gets all the way into your body. So that's why that's in there, because it'll help. It helps your body's lymphatic system, stimulates that. Poldiarco, same thing. All the ingredients in there overlap each other and everything like that. But okay. So but that's how that works. Now, because I'm gonna simplify all that even further so that you can see everything I said, everything I'm saying ties into one thing. So how do you get your body system in a healthy? How do you get your body in a healthy state where it can fight off foreign invaders, viruses, you name it, illnesses, chronic stuff that's going on with your body, whether it's kidney issues, prostate issues, you name it, breast cancer, whatever it is. How do you get your body in a state so that it can do its job and get you back to where you need to be, which is healthy? Well, you need to, okay, yeah, you could just set it right there. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to detoxify and cleanse. And I know today that's a kind of a catch all phrase. Everybody got one. You get one. I remember years ago, me and Koya did like a detox protocol, and basically it was just so a bunch of pills we took that made me have diarrhea. Basically, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Today, I don't know what was in that detox, but that was years before I got into this. But now I'm going to break down what a proper detox is in simplified terms so you can understand. So basically, a detox is getting your lymphatic system draining and moving. And that's going to involve there's a couple steps to that, because once you have your lymphatic system properly flowing, it's going to cleanse out everything else. Everything else will start draining into it, and it will slowly start getting your body moving. Step one in that is getting your kidneys filtering and your renal system draining. Your renal system is your urination system, peeing, because that's the primary way of getting toxic substances out of the body outside of what you consume, what you eat. The primary way of getting anything toxic out of your body that you might eat, the primary way is going to be defecation, taking a dump. Okay. But the primary way of getting toxins, cellular toxins, anything out of your body, concerning your tissues or anything like that, your organs and all that, is going to be urination. And in order to get that stuff out of the body, you have to be filtering properly to filter it out of your lymphatic fluid, and you pee it out. So what you find, a lot of people who have issues, a lot of health issues, stuff like that, they have kidney issues too. And a lot of people don't realize, that early on you don't realize, later on you do. So step one in any detox is you got to open that drain valve. The drain valve is getting the kidneys filtering. The kidneys have to start filtering out the lymphatic fluid that's coming through it with all these toxins and foreign invaders and all that stuff like that. So you got to kickstart the kidneys and get them filtering properly. Why are kidneys shut off? It's because I'll tell you the things that shut the kidneys off. Caffeine will shut the kidneys off. Caffeine puts the body in what you perceive as energy when you drink caffeine is caffeine shutting off all the unnecessary body systems and putting your body in a fight or flight mode, because it's putting out adrenaline and stuff like that. And I know that's a very basic explanation, but I think if you're more advanced, I'm sure y'all understand the deeper workings of it, and I could do that in another show. But anyway, it basically puts your body in a mode for fight or flight. It shuts down all the unnecessary systems, and it focuses all that gained energy that it got from shutting down all those unnecessary systems. It focuses all that energy on your mind, keeping your mind focused in and locked in on whatever it needs, and giving you energy, so you have energy. So people take that day in and day out to get through their day and work their job. And in the meantime, any unnecessary system that's not required for fight or flight mode, right? Your kidneys is going to shut that down. So now you're not filtered and you're just working, even though, and you're tired, you're not getting enough rest, and boom, boom, boom. So that puts you in a vicious cycle. Then you go into um, the foods we eat, the non-hydrated, hydrating, you know, foods that we eat, inflammatory foods, foods that your body has a response to, that it has to kind of protect itself from when you consume. And that's basically any food outside of your fruits and vegetables, basically. And that's not saying, oh, I can't eat these foods. I know there's people who don't, but you can eat those foods. But just like the word says, and like I said in my other video, in Sirach Ecclesiasticus, it warns you about overeating and overindulging yourself on meats. It said, I'm kind of paraphrasing, like the overindulgence of meat causes, uh, damn, what's, see, I don't have anything. Hey, if any of y'all have that verse, post it in the comments if y'all can find that. The eating of meats, it breaks down what it causes, and it causes illness and death if you overeat them. But everything in moderation. You know what I'm saying? So do I eat meat? Yeah, I do. You know, but it's just in moderation, time to time. For me, I don't really eat bread anymore because it causes if you eat too much grains and breads, it will cause neurological issues. Okay, um, breads, grains, and sugars are neurotoxins. Okay, um, you show me a person with Alzheimer's, who's had strokes, who has neurological issues. I'm gonna show you a person who eats a lot of sugar, and I'm talking about the bad sugar, not fructose, but high fructose. Okay, so but you show me anybody who has these neurological issues, I'm gonna show you somebody who eats a lot of sugar, grains, breads, and stuff like that. It's literally a direct correlation between them. Okay, but we consume these things, and what ends up happening is ends up backing up your body's sewage system, which is the lymphatic system. It ends up causing it to back up, okay? Because it gets so bogged down, and then it begins to not move, and it begins to turn from an oil to a grease to something hard and almost damn near plastic, and it's all backed up and jammed up, and then that's when you start getting these cysts and different you know, pus filled whatever they call, you know what I'm saying, all over your body. So that's kind of the process. The perfect analogy for the blood and the lymphatic system is right there in your house. Your water system in your house. You have fresh water that goes to your sinks, to your washing machine, to your dishwasher, to your kitchen sink, to your shower, to all these systems in the house. And all those systems also have a drainage system, a drain pipe. Your toilet has a drain pipe. Your shower has a drain pipe. Your washing machine has a drain pipe. Your dishwasher has a drain pipe. All these systems have drainage to them. Well, what happens when the drain pipe on your sink begins to back up? Well, that sink doesn't drain quite as fast. What happens when the drain pipe on your toilet begins to back up? Well, that toilet don't drain as fast. What happens when it jams up? Let's say your kitchen sink. Let's say that pipe jams up on the kitchen sink and it don't drain at all. Then the dishes begin to pile up in the sink. And then flies and insects begin to come around. And and then it just begins to get nasty. That now y'all eating off dirty plates, and now people start getting sick. And so that's your kitchen sink. Then what happens? Your toilet backs up, and then people keep taking dumps and all that, and pissing and all that, and the toilet gets back, and it starts smelling funky, and then bugs come in, all this stuff, and it gets bad. What happens when the laundry machine, the washing machine for the clothes gets backed up, and people can't wash their clothes, and people wearing dirty clothes, and this, that, and the other. So the laundry machine might back up, and they might call that, you know, they might say, hey, you got cystitis or some type of itis. Your toilet might get backed up. They might call that prostate cancer or something. You know, your kitchen sink is backed up. They might name that disease, might be called, you know, you got high blood pressure, or you're gonna have a heart attack. You know, all these diseases, but it's all due to your body system is backed up. So how do you clear the traffic jam? How do you clear it out? You need to consume more fruits. Okay. So for instance, a lot of times during the day, I eat a lot of grapes. Lately, I've been having cucumbers and hummus, or grapes and hummus a lot, pretty much all week. Well, what does that do? When I eat grapes, the water from the grapes is the purest water you could get, because it's filtered out by the plant. So it's very pure water. So that water, I'm eating more fruits than I am, and hydrating foods than I am eating foods that need to be hydrated, foods that are going to pull water from my body, from my cells, from the spaces between the cells, and then require a whole lot of energy to break down. Instead, I'm hydrating my body with fruits that are going to put fresh water around the cells, flush out the dirty water that's in the cells and around everything. Is going to flush that out, flush it in to the lymphatic system. It's more water coming in now to the lymphatic system. It's going to get that lymphatic system flowing through the kidneys, and you're going to urinate out all that waste. And it's a process. It's a thing. You get in the habit of slowly change your diet over to what I would call high fruit diet, where you're consuming more hydrating foods and minerals and stuff like that than stuff that's going to dehydrate you and pollute you and toxify you and cause inflammation. So more hydrating and cleansing and detoxifying foods than you're consuming more of that than inflammatory foods that are going to cause your body to become inflamed. Fire. You remember the analogy? There's a fire at the building, and the fire department's coming to go put it out. It's kind of a good analogy, ain't the best, but I think the house analogy is better. Okay, it's like you're sending plumbers into the body to begin plumbing, and then once they get the pipes unclogged, what are you gonna do? You're gonna turn the water on and rinse out all that nasty crap that's all around the sink or in the toilet or whatever, and you're gonna begin getting that stuff out of your system. Okay, so that's the process. So the other thing is, let me see, antiviral, respiratory. So step one in this process is, the first step is eating a high fruit diet. And this first step is kind of twofold. Eat a high fruit diet and get the kidneys up and going. And that's where you could go to householdherbs.com. It's not on here on the bottom, but you go to householdherbs.com and get Kidney Kickstarter, and it will. And you can look up the ingredients on there, the herb list, and look up what each of those herbs do. Let me see something. Yeah, you can look up what each of those herbs do, and that will get you going. Okay, that will begin getting you cleansed out. That's step one in getting you moving. And like I said, we're gonna do this. This is the beginning of the series. So anytime you see that, you know what we're talking about, and it will get you educated, get you rolling. But anyway, y'all, with that said, I'm gonna wrap this up. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stay consistent with these, as consistent as I could be. This ain't a priority. I got a lot of other stuff going on, but I hope this was edifying. We're going to talk about this more, and I'm going to break it down a lot clearer, and hopefully educate y'all so that y'all can start, you know, getting your body in a healthier state for what's coming. Anyway, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Shalom, shalom.